All right, hello and welcome. Indie Agency News here. I am Kyle O'Brien, managing editor of Indie Agency News. Today we are talking a heritage agency changing its name, and it's a great story, and I can't wait to talk about it. So let's get into it. But after 61 years as Brownstein, Philadelphia-based agency is now born and raised. Marc Brownstein, CEO and son of founder Bernie Brownstein, made the call to remove the family name from the advertising agency, not out of sentiment, but strategic clarity. So we're going to bring on Marc Brownstein, CEO of Brownstein Group, and Gary Greenberg, VP and Chief Creative Officer at Born and Raised, for a conversation about the decision framework behind this evolution. Together, they've built Brownstein Group into a house of brands: Born and Raised, advertising; Red Thread PR, poster child and influencer relations; and Nucleus Digital, each with specialized capabilities while maintaining collaborative independence. All right, let's bring them on. Marc Brownstein and Gary Greenberg, thank you for joining us.
Good
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Great to have you here. All right,
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Let's talk about this. So, 61 years, your family name on it. What was the key moment that convinced you the new name and identity, the Born and Raised? What's the right strategic move?
Yeah, the decision was about clarity. The decision was about growth. Yeah, after 61 years, the Brownstein name was tied to a legacy, but it wasn't fully reflective of the current agency model or our vision. So it's a strategic move versus an emotional risk. I mean, it's not about me anymore, and it's not about my dad anymore. It's about our people and about our clients. So with the growth into a house of brands, it required a focused identity to represent our advertising, brand strategy, creative, and production.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gary, so how did the idea of Born and Raised reflect the agency's creative philosophy and ambitions, and how did it influence the cultural internally? Culture internally. There we go.
Well, sometimes it feels like an eternity, right?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, to build on Mark's point, I mean, it's kind of interesting when you think about it. What a gutsy move to get up in front of an agency with your name on it and say to everybody, "This is no longer about me; it's about you." That's a big move. That's a really big move. And also, I think we were realizing that the kind of work we had been creating over the past probably 5 years needed to be reflected in a different way. I don't think Brownstein was really the right name and image for the kind of work we were doing and what we wanted to be, how we saw ourselves growing. And I just think, it's a great name. I got to tell you, it's one of those when you think about it, you're like, oh my God, I can't imagine it being any other name. That's when you know it's right. That balance of born and raised in Philadelphia by independent thinking, and then marrying that with this sense of collaboration and cross-disciplinary creativity and all the ways that the business is changing. It felt right, and it was the right thing to do. And the agency has beyond embraced it. It's crazy. Everybody is so energized by this. It's so good.
Yeah, we didn't have people saying, but what about our legacy name? What we didn't have the buts and the waits, but the howevers. That wasn't happening. People were like,
No,
"Oh yeah,
no.
I get it. Wow,
Yep.
that's great. That's amazing." And it's re-energized the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk a little about how you said it energized not only the team, but you're getting calls. People are
Yeah.
excited about this.
Yeah.
How do they react to that? Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we're just a few weeks into the rebrand, but the feedback has been surprising and remarkable. I know I'm hearing from people from my past business, personally, all over the country. Many people, there's a similar narrative. Many people are saying that the bold move to rebrand a 61-year-old company inspired them and
Yeah.
it energized them, and some of these people aren't even in our industry.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting. But look, are people going to, if they don't like it, they're going to tell me or tell Gary? Well, probably not. But the 100% across the board, the feedback I got was authentic and positive, and embraced us, and it just felt, people are saying like, yeah, it renews a great legacy brand.
Yeah. It's amazing how it felt so right to so many other people outside our business. I heard the same thing from creative guys I know all over the country, LA, New York, Boston, where I was, I worked for a while, sending me messages and calling me and saying, nope, this is right. I understand why you did this. And the name is great. That's like a big wow. That's very cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rare because a lot of people, there's so much name equity, obviously, with over 6 decades. You think, okay, well, that's what the name is, and that's what it is. And so, but then you come up with this, and it looks right, it feels right. You guys did hit it. So what was the inspiration behind the logo? It's bold. It's right on brand. What was the inspiration for this?
I think that we wanted something that felt very modern, but didn't feel trendy. That's super important. Classic design will be here forever. And we know some of the best brands, some of the best classic brands. They're forever. They never go away. They never get stale. That was really important to us, that we picked a font. The name, obviously, we could build on it, we could evolve it, but it was important to have sort of a timeless feeling to it. And, red's always been in the Brownstein Group palette. So while it's not the red we have been using, we didn't want it to be too much of a departure from that, so that it would connect to that. Those are the little things that we thought about to make sure that people knew that our legacy, the history that Marc and Bernie had created, was still there. There was still part of our DNA. But it was really fun to design. It's funny, when I looked at the first design for the website and I started looking at the work next to the design, the work we have been creating, I was like, yes, that's right. That's how it should feel.
Right. But I don't want you to think that we just said, yeah, that's the color. That's it. Like,
oh no.
Well, Gary, Gary, what was it, a week before launch?
Oh, maybe a couple of days. Yeah.
we're a certain someone, might be me, was going, I've an affinity for the color orange. I think it's an energy color. And I was pushing the team. I'm like, why don't we explore a little bit of orange in there? And then, so they were, good enough to like keep showing me different versions of it, but without a recommendation behind it. and so where we landed, I'm actually really happy with where we landed, because Gary guided his team to, the color that we have really is, it's not a red, it's not an orange, it's a nice mashup. Nice mashup of the two. And I think it works because it distinguishes the red from our Red Thread public relations company and our Nucleus digital company. It's a different red, orangish red. So, but I didn't want you to think like that. Oh, it all went smoothly, and yes, we just checked the box and went through this process, and all was perfect. And like, there was a lot of back and forth and some friction, and I'm sure there was some eye rolling at like, what is with Marc? Come on, like, approve this darn thing already. But we wanted to get it right.
I'm not going to reveal any of that on this conversation, Marc.
I do love the fact that you have the Phila pen that and in the script that is so on brand with Philly. It just captures Philadelphia. And I think we're three Pennsylvanians right here, so
Pennsylvanians get it, and it's funny because our the team that created the Marc really fought for Penna, P-E-N-N-A.
Yeah.
Even though someone from, Illinois might not understand what PENNA is, right? They know
Right.
what PA is. But at the end of the day, the rationale was that it creates a little more intrigue, and let's see what that's all about.
Absolutely. And again, leaning into our history and not being afraid to embrace that. That was a big part of this too. So many agencies try to run away from where they are and try to be something to somebody else or some other place. And we felt like this was so much a part of the history and the DNA of what Marc and Bernie built in Philadelphia that it's important to pay homage to that, if you will.
Yeah, obviously. So let's talk a bit about the brands, the house of brands that you have. So with the evolution into a collective of specialized practices with Red Thread, with Poster Child, Nucleus, and Born and Raised Now, what business advantages does the house of brands approach unlock that maybe the traditional indie structure doesn't?
Specialization. So back, we created Nucleus Digital in 2013 because I didn't want clients in the marketplace to think that that our digital group was just a department down the hallway from Brownstein, and that worked well. And then 5 years ago, the same thing applied. It was Brownstein Group Advertising and Public Relations. And I'm like, you know what? We have a kick-ass public relations company and team, and yet it's getting buried as advertising NPR, and it's not being seen as a specialized public relations agency. So I wanted that clarity, and that's when we created Red Thread Public Relations. When we wanted to create an influencer marketing company, it was kind of a no-brainer. We created Poster Child. We weren't going to create Brownstein Group Influencer Relations. It was Poster Child Influencer Relations. It's based in LA. Most of the decision makers are like 33 years old. They want something cool. They want something edgy, and they want clarity. Like, is this your specialty, or is this just like a bolt on to your agency? And it's really doesn't get the agency's full focus of talent and strategy and execution. So, and because I knew that's how we were executing with strategy and great talent, I wanted the brand to reflect that.
Gotcha. So Gary, from a creative standpoint, then, how does operating within that house of brands allow for better cross-disciplinary collaboration and idea development?
It's worked flawlessly. I mean, I love it. Unlike unlike the olden days, we know that creative ideas, brilliant brand ideas, they don't come from the creative department anymore.
Right.
They used to be delegated to creative people who think of creative things. Now, a creative idea, a business building idea comes from anybody. So the ability to tap into experts to help solve a problem, there isn't a better way. So for us to be able to partner with Red Thread, maybe the solution for this client isn't traditional advertising, a TV campaign. Maybe it's PR, or maybe it's influencer marketing, or maybe it's a digital first campaign. And being able to tap into the experts in each one of these in our house of brands, just makes it easier for us to succeed and for us to give our clients something unique that they can't get some other place, because we're tapping into experts.
Right.
I love it. We cross pitch all the time. I've had a chance to work with Poster Child on a couple of pitches. It's been fantastic. We'll call people in, share ideas with each other. How do you think? What do you think? Is this good? Is it bad? What could you do? What would you do differently? And having that kind of feedback and that kind of back and forth collaboration is everything right now.
Yeah. I mean, we like our different agency brands come together when our clients need that,
Yeah.
or they work just in a dedicated manner for a particular client when they need that. And there's no battle for budget. The mentality is like, what does the client need? That's the priority. Let's
Right.
do what's right for our clients, and let's see which of our agencies should take the lead on that. So, but it's really nice the way our different agencies and the leaders of the different agency brands come together, share best practices, share strategy, collaborate when client needs collaboration or not.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Let's talk a little bit more about, the name change, obviously, because it's a big deal, and I'm sure that other heritage agencies are probably going, okay, I need to understand what's going on here. So, can you walk us through the decision framework? Like, what signals said that Brownstein's name was becoming like a strategic constraint rather than like an emotional hurdle?
Yeah,
What?
yeah. It felt like it's, fortunately we had precedent, right? We had done this before. And when I know when I was in meetings and I'm saying we have Red Thread Public Relations and Nucleus Digital and Poster Child, and then Brownstein, which is owned by Brownstein Group. I tripped on it 100% of the time. It just didn't come out right. Like,
Yeah.
okay, there's Brownstein that's owned by Brownstein. Like, what does that mean? And as I mentioned earlier, the decision makers are young. We're competing against other agencies and other independent agencies with great, cool, hip names. We wanted to be in that decision set. We didn't want to. I felt like over time we were sounding like a law firm or accounting firm. When you have Poster Child, that's great. It's a great name for for an influencer company.
Yeah.
And I wanted Brownstein to have the same advantage, and it really is an advantage. So I've been pushing for this for a couple of years now, just because I saw the success with Nucleus Digital, I saw the success with Red Thread, I saw the success with Poster Child.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, talk about it from a creative standpoint. I mean, what does the new name allow, and what was the kind of rationale creatively behind the name change too?
Well, I think it allowed us to create a new creative focus for the agency. Again, I think I mentioned this before, but I look at the work that we've done over the past 5 years, and this name is more reflective of how that work was created and what that work is doing in the marketplace. Again, these don't always work. These rebrands don't always work for other agencies. It wasn't a bunch of leaders who locked themselves, leadership team that locked themselves up in a conference room, came out 2 to 3 weeks later and announced to the agency, ta-da, here it is. I hope you like it, right? And people would stand around, scratch their heads, wonder why, what does this mean? What about the old place? Why did we change? Was there something wrong? And kudos to the leadership group here, because we invited the agency to participate in this journey with us. We looked for their input, talk to us, tell us what it is about us that you like. What do we keep? What can we leave? What can we walk away from? And you're amazed when you involve people, when you involve everybody in the agency, very easy to embrace it afterwards. They're very much a part of it because they're best cheesesteak in Philly.
Somebody from the Philly area is
Yeah, I
weighing in.
was wondering. I was like, wow, that conversation changed quickly. But yeah, I think that the creative guys at the agency are just so it's like a shot of adrenaline to them. They're very excited. And they feel like this name reflects who they are, not Mark anymore, but who the agency is. And that's huge.
Right. So, Mark, speaking of other agencies, there are a lot of second generation, third generation agencies out there. What would you give them as advice for, if they're going to face this and try to rebrand, especially considering like, oh, hey, there's the name and we're going to give up the name of the founder. What kind of legacy does that put, and what kind of decision making goes into that, and what would you suggest they do with that?
Well, first of all, never get comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. Right? Especially in this industry, you always have to change. You have to evolve, even if it's uncomfortable.
Right.
But I knew from the beginning that we're going to be the same company but better, right? We're going to keep the same leadership, the same independent spirit, the same core values. We're only going to evolve what amplifies the growth and the clarity. So and we just the communication to our clients, that this is, we're the same Brownstein, right? Born and raised the same people and love, and who's helping you grow your business. And we briefed clients in advance, and they loved it. I mean, there wasn't one client who didn't say, "Why are you doing that?"
Yeah.
And we thought there would be, right? Because we were prepared for that. And we're just reassuring them that it's the same team, the same people you love, the same thinking that you've been getting, just with like a refreshed, a re-inspired brand for the next 10 years or 61 years.
Yep.
Right. Well, let's take a look at this branding again. Obviously, born and raised. This has been fantastic and very inspiring. And we're going to bring him on. Don't sit there behind a bunch of banners. We're going to bring you on, Mr. Zanger, who is from Haddonfield, New Jersey. No. Okay, so you're going to questions.
Oh, come on.
Favorite mural. Okay, that's
you didn't comb your hair.
Yeah, exactly. He has a hat on, as he always does. All right, favorite. We'll give this will be the last thing. Your favorite mural. We don't want to go into the deliberation. That'll take too long.
Can I answer that?
Yes.
I mean, because it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Of course.
So I sit on I'm on the mural arts board, and I've been for a long time. And my father, Bernie, is an artist. He was a painter first. And in order to feed his 3 children, he went from fine art to commercial art, right? From paintings to advertising. But he never stopped painting. And we arranged for one of his paintings, which was a hillside of lilies in Tuscany, Italy, to be turned into a mural up on 23rd Street, right? And it's it's a fabulous mural, and it hasn't been there's been no graffiti. It's been up for maybe 9 years now.
It's a while.
I think right. I think 2016 that mural went up. So it's been great, and so I encourage people to go look for Bernie Brownstein's mural in Center City, Philadelphia, and that's my favorite mural. In Philly. Come on, that's like
of course,
right?
Gotta love it. Oh, come on, Randall Cunningham, underappreciated. Come on, now we're not getting into an Eccles discussion here.
Go Birds.
When his Hoagie Fest is in the middle of summer, and you know that.
Yeah, everybody knows that. Come on, even
I'll be at the game Sunday.
Oh, excellent. Well, go Birds, and go Born and Raised. Gary, Mark, thank you so much for talking to us. This has been fantastic. I highly recommend that people listen to this and get as much information out of this as they can, because you guys went about it the right way. You included everyone, which gets everybody on board, and you came up with a really good name and branding. So fantastic.
Thank you.
We love it.
All right. Thanks very much. Thanks for having us.
Of course. Thank you so much.
And go indie agencies.
Yes.
Go indie agencies. Thank you. What a great note to end on. Thank you. Thank you guys. All right. Take care.
Take care. Thanks.
Bye.